Hello and welcome back, this is Insti and I'm continuing playing Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot First Cases. And last episode we were doing some crime scene investigation and deduced that everybody wanted to kill the Major. Again. And what we are going to do now is trying to see or find out alibis of the guests and hopefully get some sort of an idea who might be the killer, although I'm fairly certain that this first round of investigation doesn't yield that answer. Although I could be wrong, but we will find out. And we know there was a guests may be involved. I would say guests are involved, at least some of them. Maybe one, maybe a couple, because you cannot really close out the idea that there were multiple persons doing this. After all, we are talking about Hercule Poirot case. What else? I'm gonna check. So yes, Ernesto, Hugo, Jackie, Margot and Ernesto definitely prime suspects. So that could also mean that they really are not the ones who killed him. Not saying because they are too obvious, but we will find out. So, let's go and start questioning people. Anything with Archibald first?
Is that the end of your interrogations?
Wait, what?
There are still some questions that remain to be asked.
Obviously, I'm not ending here, Archie. Don't be dumb. I was just trying to interrogate you because you are a suspect also. So we have everybody in here. I'm starting from the left and go to the right. So, Zachariah. You might be a killer too.
I'm afraid our conversation is of a more formal nature this time.
So the Major was murdered?
Oh, okay.
It appears so.
To be honest, I would like to make these inquiries face-to-face, vis-a-vis. Because, is that a real word? Well, I know it's a real word, but I was thinking is that the right expression. Anyways, face to face, so not that the other people won't hear me, but in the game it really doesn't matter. Anyways, so let's continue.
You can't think that I did it, though.
Well, to be honest, I can think quite a lot.
I will be questioning everyone over the course of the evening, and your cooperation will certainly speed up that process.
Besides, speaking with me, tell me about your movements before dinner.
I was here in the salon, minding my own business, enjoying my own company.
Minding your business from whom?
Comtesse, what's her name, and my brother. Apart from wanting to congratulate him for a great right hook, there was nothing I had to say to him.
Okay.
Comtesse de Vos? And they will both confirm you were here?
If she had taken a moment to notice anything besides herself, she will tell you I was here the whole time.
Okay.
I think that is all for now. Merci for your time.
Yeah, I'm guessing we are doing few rounds in here before we can end. So let's go with Hugo. I think he was
Bonsoir, Monsieur Beckers. Merci for speaking with me.
I think he was in the library. Well, to be honest, I don't know where he was before the dinner because obviously this is not working in real time.
Monsieur Poirot, or should it be Detective Poirot now?
Oh, indeed.
Detective Poirot is perfect, merci. I would like to begin with a few questions.
Indeed, a few questions.
Go right ahead, Detective Poirot.
Oh, sorry. Can you tell me where you were prior to dinner?
I took great pleasure in seeing the Major's ego as well as his face take a bruising. And then I made my way to the library.
Yes.
Well, you spoke with Mademoiselle Conrad.
And yourself? Yes.
We were the only two that you spoke with.
One of the servants bought me a drink and I was telling her about the benefits of joining a union. She didn't understand what it truly meant to be a part of something. Something bigger than just her. I was trying to explain to her how...
How?
Monsieur.
Oh, yes, it was just the two of you and the servant.
Strange that he does not seem to recall seeing Monsieur Da Silva in the library. Yeah, that is true. Da Silva was there also.
And you are sure there was no one else present?
I'm not sure what you're getting at, Detective. You were there.
Okay.
Merci, Monsieur Beckers. It has been a most enlightening conversation.
Wait a minute. Okay. I'm gonna check. What do we have here? Nothing to link. Spoke with Jackie and myself. Can this be verified? I do not know at the moment. You guys in the library following the altercation? Yes, at least partly. Zacharias, we have here. In salon. Expressed disdain for Margot. Had no interest in speaking with Margot or his brother. Interesting. They were both present in the salon. Can this be verified? Well, we will see. We will see. So, Ernesto. Again, weird that Hugo didn't remember.
Monsieur Da Silva, merci for obliging me.
Ernesto.
A detective comes to a party and a dead body shows up. Coincidental, don't you think?
Maybe not.
A man's death is not a matter to joke on, monsieur.
Who said anything about a joke? I am saying what I see.
Then perhaps you can tell me what it was you saw this evening.
And where were you prior to dinner?
Following whatever that was in the hall, I moved to the library.
Is there anyone that can confirm that?
Miss Conrad and Beckers were in there, arguing about something. The books held my interest far more than their conversation.
I imagine so, yes.
You did not speak with them until dinner was served?
I had no reason to get involved with their little spat. It was clear they didn't want me to hear, and that suited me just fine.
Okay. I do understand.
Merci for your cooperation.
And Gideon.
Monsieur Demir, I am sorry your celebrations have taken a rather dark turn.
As am I, Detective. I hope we will be able to bring this investigation to an end post-haste.
Well, not in post-haste. Well. Or maybe. But it will take a little time at least.
With your cooperation, I will do my very best.
Okay, beside your time in the hall, where were you before we were summoned to the dining room?
I was here in the salon. I thought I would have a moment of peace to calm myself, but the Comtesse and my brother followed behind.
Ah, okay.
Did they inquire into the reasons behind the fight in the hall?
I think they both saw it as some light entertainment, more than anything else.
Could be.
The Comtesse does not strike me as one to enjoy violence.
Well, to be honest, it was directed towards the Major, so I think she might make an exception with that.
And not so much violence, but karma for the Major, perhaps. You did not hear how he spoke to my wife-to-be. She is still rather upset about the whole thing.
Even so, another motive then. Okay.
If you would be so kind as to stay here, I may require your help further.
So let's check those two again. Two new things. So what do we have here? Gideon in the salon, moved into the salon after the altercation with Major. To be honest, the problem is I didn't see him, but yeah. Angeline is still upset at what happened with the Major. Margot and Zachariah followed Gideon in the salon. Can this be verified? Well, oh, we can... Can I connect these two now?
What a revelation!
But again, they may be lying. They confirm each other's appearance in the salon. But did they stay all the time? At least they are saying they stayed all the time in there, but again, we will see. So, Margot.
Countess, I am sorry our next conversation must be under such formal circumstances.
It is not the first time Felix has ruined a good party.
Well, that's another viewpoint for that thing, I guess. Felix ruining the party by being murdered.
The current state of tonight's celebrations is the least of my priorities, Countess.
Well, it's at the top of mine, detective. I did not come here for a wake.
Perhaps then we should proceed with my questions and you can get back to celebrating.
It would be my pleasure, chérie.
So, we spoke earlier. Did you remain here in the salon until dinner was served?
I did. I thought by staying in one place, it would be easy for the staff to bring me my drinks. How wrong I was.
Okay.
And who else was present in here?
The handsome groom-to-be and his brother, although Zachariah, is it, made a rather sharp exit at one stage.
So we have a first crack in the stories. Somebody left for a while.
Did he say where he was going?
He barely said 2 words to either of us. I think he was more concerned with his drink.
Another to notice Monsieur Demias drinking, and yet no one seems concerned. Well, maybe they are concerned, but honestly, if he wants to drink, there's nothing people can do about it that much. They can try to help him, but if he doesn't want to have help, so that's the problem.
Merci, Countess. If I have any further questions, I shall be sure to come and find you.
And to be honest, it's been interesting that those two brothers' relationship doesn't seem that close. Not hating each other, but quite distant. Either that's an act, or there's something more into it. And Jackie.
Mademoiselle Conrad, I am sure you understand the delicate nature of the situation.
I'm sorry about that. Okay.
I knew I had seen your face before. You were just an officer when that story hit the paper.
Yeah, we were discussing that on the dinner, if I remember correctly.
You have a très bon memory, mademoiselle. That was a long time ago.
You can't escape the past, especially when you go and do something like that.
That is very true, but one can learn from it and create a better future.
What would you say to an
What?
Please, mademoiselle. Catching the Major's killer is my sole concern right now. Now, if you would be so kind, I have some questions for you.
And your evening, since your arrival.
I arrived, unpacked my bags in my room, and made it downstairs just in time to see the Major take a right hook from Gideon. And then I went to check out the library.
And you were joined by Monsieur Beckers.
And Ernesto, or Monsieur Silver, as you say. But after he ignored my attempt at pleasantries, I left him to his book in the corner.
And your conversation with Monsieur Beckers that I interrupted.
You are a persistent one, aren't you? Makes sense now I know who you really are. You'll just have to wait and read about it in the paper like everyone else.
Interesting. Mademoiselle Conrad still remains tight-lipped about her discussion with Monsieur Beckers, but a hint at reading about it in the newspaper makes me believe it may be a much grander nature than I expected. Maybe it's the workers' strike we read about through the letters. Loose lips sink ships, or something like that.
You have been most helpful. I request you do not go too far. Merci.
No. I have 5 connections to make. Gideon was present. Zachariah went missing. Margot was in the salon. Jackie was in the library. Jackie was talking to Hugo. Ernesto was lurking in the library. That's naughty. He wasn't lurking, he was just reading about books. Argument between Hugo and Jackie. Ernesto was in the library. Do I connect these two?
Things are beginning to become clearer.
Jackie and Hugo confirm each other's appearance in the library. Yes. For now. Do I connect Zachariah went missing either here or here? Let's start. Well, let's go with this.
I must take a different approach if I am to uncover the truth.
Or maybe here.
I must act on thought and...
Okay, no. Do I connect it here then?
Come,
Nope.
my little grey cells.
I could try and connect that.
This will not get me any closer to my...
But it would seem like you cannot connect these. Do I connect this with this?
Is there something...
Okay. Maybe these two then.
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment...
Margot and Gideon confirm each other's appearance in the salon. Yes. Margot and... yeah. So what is next? Do I connect argument between Hugo and Jackie with this then?
I must take a different approach if I am...
Argument and Ernesto was lurking in library.
Another success. I never doubted myself.
They confirm each other's appearance in the library. Okay. Jackie and Ernesto confirm each other's alibis. Well, Margot was in the salon, Jackie was in the library. Now. 2 connections. Do I connect these?
I must act on thought and...
Oh, I'm guessing I'm connecting Ernesto with Hugo too.
I cannot see the logic in this.
Okay, fine. Fine. Right. Maybe this and that.
Order and method. That is the way to solve the problem.
So I need 2 connections. It shouldn't be this hard. What am I missing again? We don't have anything with Archibald, but that doesn't matter at this moment. Ernest was lurking in library. What does it say? Only talk to Jackie and myself while in the library. Can this be verified? Can this be verified? So can I connect these two? I don't know how this works, but I'm gonna try this.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
Okay. Hugo fell. Oh, right. I totally forgot that. Hugo didn't mention Ernesto in the library. Right, yeah. I mentioned it earlier, but when I was reading this, I was just thinking about only that checking myself. Yeah, I totally forgot that he definitely said that he didn't say anything about Ernesto, so yeah, my bad. I somehow totally forgot that. So we still have something to connect before I talk to Hugo. I don't know what it is. Margot and Zachariah followed Gideon in the salon. Can this be verified? Oh, but Gideon didn't say anything about the missing Zachariah. So if I cannot connect this to Zachariah, I'm thinking this is something we need to connect. So I'll try it. Well, I'll try it here then.
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Alright, it opens the new discussion. Okay. Margot claims Zachariah stepped out of the room, but Gideon did not mention it. It was his missing time accounted for. So now I can talk. Okay. Okay. I'm not saying it's hard, but sometimes, yeah, few of those linkages has been my mistakes because I totally forgot what was being said, but sometimes it's a little hard to understand what I are saying in those little boxes and what is something you need to connect. But that's neither here nor there. So let's start with you, Zachariah. I need to know where did you go? If
I'm an open book, Poirot.
You might be. If you did leave, your version of events.
I told you already. I was here in the salon.
And you did not leave even once?
Well, I had to use the bathroom. I didn't realize I had to update you every time nature called.
Well, to be honest, this is a murder investigation. You need to tell me everything, as detailed as can be. But yes.
You may keep your calls of nature to yourself, merci. And then you returned to the salon?
If you don't believe me, ask Archibald. He saw me on his way up to the study.
Wait. Archibald on a way to study?
I think that is all for now. Merci for your time.
How interesting. Okay, so let's talk with... Oh, Hugo. We need to ask about Ernesto. Yeah, that is.
Whatever you require, detective.
Your story of tonight's events.
I know you are probably used to dealing with criminals, but not everyone is trying to hide something.
I hope for your sake that you do not hide anything from me.
What is it you think I'm hiding?
I struggle to believe you did not know of Monsieur da Silva's presence in the library.
Is that what this is about? I saw him hiding in the corner, pretending to read. I'd be surprised if he even could. I did not speak to him, and he certainly didn't make any attempt to speak with me.
Okay, be judgmental, mate.
Monsieur Demire invited you here to speak with him. You didn't see that as a fitting time too?
I was speaking with Jacqueline, and quite frankly, I was in no mood to be dealing with that man.
Oh, right. Yeah, he's the factory owner, so you don't like him? Maybe there's something more into it? Monsieur Beckers is courageous and full of vigor in his planning, but his execution does not share such confidence. Okay.
Merci, Monsieur Beckers. It has been a most enlightening conversation.
Now, we got a few new things and new connections. Hugo saw Ernesto briefly. This time Hugo has acknowledged the presence of Ernesto. Can this be verified? Let's... maybe this then?
What a revelation!
Hugo and Ernesto now confirm each other's appearance in the library.
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Hugo, Ernesto and Jackie support each other's versions of events. Someone else must be responsible, surely. Well, if we believe these, totally. Archibald going towards the studies. So Archibald, you have something to tell me?
Can you confirm seeing Monsieur Demire in the hall this evening?
Zachariah, yes. I was on my way with a bottle of whiskey to the Major. He shouted a rather ignorable greeting to me and asked for directions to the bathroom.
I presume you showed him the way?
Aye, detective. I showed him to the hall bathroom. I didn't think it was wise to attempt the stairs, not in that state.
Okay. So you were bringing whiskey for the Major. Okay. Zachariah's absence covered by Archibald. Zachariah went missing, so I'm guessing we are connecting these then.
I must act on thought and fact, not on impulse.
Oh, sorry. I'm guessing we are connecting these two then, okay?
Magnifique.
Archibald confirmed Zachariah's movement out of the salon, however brief.
Some would say a lucky guess.
Gideon, Zachariah and Margot were all in the salon, at least for some time all together. Surely someone else is to blame. Even with some minute difference in stories, the guests all confirm each other's alibis. It is not the outcome I was expecting or perhaps hoping for. Okay, so yeah. We have confirmed alibis. For now. Come, my little crystals, let us solve this mystery. A new mind map. That did not yield the result I desired. Perhaps a more direct approach, considering the potential motives, will reveal more. Yes. Continue interrogations and determine likely motives. Well, we have quite a lot of motives. Cassandra. Something. Well, the cigar and maybe something from earlier times in the war. The marriage. Factories. Not sure at the moment. Margot, a friend of Cassandra. But anyways, let's go and start digging in. Let's start with Zachariah then.
I'm an open book, Poirot.
Of course you are, mate. Did you speak with the Major this evening?
Why would I? I've got nothing to say to him. Except maybe to keep his hands off what is ours.
Interesting.
What is yours that he could want?
Money, of course. Why do you think he has been suckling at the Van den Bosch teat for so long? He's bled them dry, and now they will all do the same to our money.
Interesting.
Our?
My father's, Gideon's, it's all the same.
Right, so you are not that happy about the marriage. I get the sense you and Monsieur Gideon are not the closest.
When you have not been on level playing fields for years, it's hard to have a fair game.
Okay.
I am afraid I do not quite understand.
Yeah, me both, Poirot.
Ever playing golf, he has a full set of clubs and a caddy in the form of my father, and I have the old split putter. Make sense now?
Oh, so you're feeling... You feel that your family is leaving, especially your father is leaving you a little bit hanging compared to Gideon.
Perfectly.
There is certainly some hostility towards his brother. This runs much deeper than brotherly rivalry. It appears so.
I think that is all for now. Merci for your time.
Interesting. Anyways, Hugo?
Whatever you require, detective.
How do you know the victim?
I know that I don't think, or didn't think, a great deal of him. I'm just sorry I didn't get the chance to tell him what I thought.
Maybe you did.
The man has recently been murdered.
Someone must stand up to men like him, with their crooked dealings and lack of, well, any compassion at all.
Another rousing speech, monsieur.
It's the truth. If you knew what I know, maybe he wouldn't be dead, but behind bars instead.
So you knew something about him. Your connection to the family is through Monsieur Demir, n'est-ce pas?
Yes, Gideon invited me. If you will recall from our previous conversation, we have been working together and he thought now would be a good time to discuss matters.
To discuss business at the celebration of his engagement?
We're all here, so what better time? He thought Da Silva might even let his guard down, if he was in a more jubilant mood. It would be wise to not continue to ignore us any longer.
Okay.
And what business was it that was so urgent?
We're trying to resolve the worker strikes. It has gone on long enough. Now is the time for him to listen to our demands so we can put an end to it all. Put the violence and upset behind us.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the strikes are going at the moment. Okay. You seem to hold a certain level of, shall we say, anger towards the Major.
Anger, yes, but that's all. I wouldn't kill a man.
Well, to be honest, even if you killed him, you probably would say that.
You must see why this leads me to have suspicions.
You can't honestly think I did it. I am a man of peace. I make changes with words, not with violence.
Unless you get pushed around too much, maybe? I barely mentioned the Major and Monsieur Beckers became rather flustered and defensive. So are there plans for negotiation with Monsieur da Silva?
I am fighting for the basic rights of our workers, nothing more. If he can't see that, he is a lesser man than I already thought.
Okay.
And where does Monsieur Gideon fit into the negotiations? And his brother?
His brother? I didn't even know he had a brother until I arrived here. Gideon certainly hasn't talked much about him. I get the sense there's not much love lost between them.
You are correct, sir. When was the last time you saw the Major?
Last I saw, he was outside having a cigar.
Okay.
Oui, I spoke with him myself, but that was some time ago.
He does love a cigar. You'd have to stand out in those conditions. I could barely see him through the snow.
Okay. If it's a big full cigar, it will take time to smoke it.
Merci, Monsieur Beckers. It has been a most enlightening conversation.
before we continue, let's see what the new things we have here. Hugo. Okay. Hugo claims to have calmed down. Wait, what? Hugo says he calmed down, but I wonder if the threat could have escalated. Oh. Hugo has dirt on the Major. It is obvious that he has some information on the Major. To be honest, that would make him not to kill the Major if he has such a dirt that he could use to push his own agenda. By killing Major, there will be another person and maybe harder to push. But anyways, yes. Gideon is trying to start negotiation, trying to improve worker standards. Seems like an honest motive for his negotiation. That is true. So Zachariah, come on. It feels as though he has held on to his resentment for a long time. So yes, it's probably something that's been brewing a long time, not just today. So, Ernesto.
More questions? I suppose so.
Indeed. Can you tell me more about your relationship with the deceased?
Felix, I didn't know him that well. We spoke a handful of times. I met him through Cassandra. I thought him to be rather pompous.
Okay, I can see why you thought about it. Thought like that.
But you remained polite, as any gentleman would.
Of course.
The negative opinion of the Major is rather ubiquitous. I am yet to meet someone with particularly positive view of him. Yeah, that is true. Only one who probably could have a positive view of the Major could be Cassandra, and I'm starting to doubt even that. Why don't you tell me more about your relationship with Madame van den Bosch?
What is there to say? She's a remarkable woman, and I admire her. Even after Edwin's death, she held herself with such poise.
Okay.
It sounds as though you hold her in the highest regard.
And why shouldn't I? Women these days could take a leaf out of her book on how to present themselves.
Okay. You said you had talked with the Major a few times. About what exactly?
He had approached me about doing some business together. I like to know who I'm getting into bed with first.
And you both went ahead with your business venture.
Not so much a business venture, more security related. But there is no need to discuss that any further.
So did the Major help security, or actually dealing with strikes and unionization, maybe?
Is there something you wish to remain hidden about your partnership, monsieur?
It was far from a partnership. I hired him to run security at my factories. If the workers were going to get violent, I wanted to make sure I was ready to protect my property.
Okay, so yes, something what I was thinking. Both you and Major have been very supportive of Madame van den Bosch over the years, n'est-ce pas?
That is correct.
And the reason for your support was always of a purely platonic nature.
That is incorrect.
If you're trying to insinuate that I was expecting something in return, you can remove your head from the gutter.
Well, to be honest, I was more thinking about you have feelings towards Cassandra, not that you are going to use the situation in any untoward ways.
I meant no offense. I'm only trying to understand the dynamic of your relationship.
I may need to approach this in a different manner. Perhaps I should speak with the Comtesse on this, maybe.
Merci for your cooperation.
Okay, what did we get now? Talk to Margot, talk to Jackie, talk to Zachariah. So we need to continue talking. Alright, we already checked that. The Major was working as a security for the factories during the strikes. Specifically, Ernest has worked with both Cassandra and the Major. So he definitely have connections. His true feelings have finally come to light. Ernest is fond of Cassandra, yes. Talk to Margot, advance the investigation. Ernest denies Cassandra is more than a friend. Of course he does. And talk to Jackie to advance the investigation. Let's talk to Gideon first.
No trouble at all. How can I help?
With the joining of your two families and the Major being around so much, I assume you knew him well.
I knew of him more than actually knowing him myself. In the past, he made his feelings towards my brother and I quite clear.
Okay.
And that was not in a positive way.
Well, most likely not.
I certainly wouldn't call trying to get Angeline to postpone the engagement positive.
I spoke with your brother earlier. He was certainly enjoying himself.
What do you mean?
I do not mean to pry, only I imagine the whole room was aware of his celebrating with a bottle.
You must be mistaken. Neither my brother nor I drink.
Wait, what? I do not know how he could not have noticed the state his brother was in. Perhaps one does not see what one does not want to believe. Well, that's some weird, well, very heavy denial then. Or maybe, well, we will see. How is your relationship with your brother?
We aren't the closest, but what brothers are?
Okay.
I would argue that many are.
Well, to be honest, I don't say you have to be the closest, but to be honest, according to Sakurai, you're quite distanced.
We've lived very different lives. Our priorities are different. He does not see things the way I do. There isn't much more to say.
Okay. There is clearly more to uncover here. I shall return to the matter when I have the fuel that is required to get the answers. Yes, definitely. So, about the Union.
I have lent my voice to some discussions. I have tried to facilitate meetings. Just positive support.
Does that positive support include sending letters to those on the opposing side?
Detective Poirot, I'm not sure what you think I have done.
You send a letter to Major?
Monsieur, a letter has been found threatening the Major of what might happen if he does not act promptly, and now he has wound up dead.
You think my sending him a letter, warning him not to get involved, means I murdered him?
There's a possibility, yes.
At this time, it is certainly reason for me to be suspicious.
I have been funding the strikes, Detective. These men deserve fair treatment, and a wage that fits the hard work they undertake every single day. The Major didn't see that. All he cared about was the money for his services, and that is all I care to discuss.
It appears Monsieur's letter was at least written with noble intentions, but he is still hesitant to talk more on the Major's association. Yes.
If you would be so kind as to stay here, I may require your help further.
And Margot?
I am all yours, Detective.
I just need information. Did you ever speak to the Major about how he treated Madame Van den Bosch?
Why would I actively choose to speak to that wretched man?
You were quite adamant of your protection of Madame. If he was as awful as you portrayed him to be, there must have been some words spoken, or perhaps written?
He was quite aware of how I felt towards him, and the lengths he has gone to remain close to the family. That is all that needs to be said.
I must admit, I would not want to be on the receiving end of your tongue's wrath, Countess.
Wise thinking, detective.
Interesting. I'm sure you have noticed Madame van den Bosch's absence.
I imagine she will have shed a tear for him, but she should not waste any more.
So, at least as on surface, Cassandra or Madame van den Bosch had some feelings towards Felix. Maybe.
You don't think she would? Or you don't want her to?
I have made it quite clear what I think of that man, alive or dead. I would not want her to waste anything further on him.
I don't know who has the sharper tongue, Madame van den Bosch or the Comtesse. It is certainly a close race for the first place. It certainly is. What of Madame van den Bosch and Monsieur da Silva's relationship?
What of it?
Do you believe there was something more to their friendship?
As I have said, detective, I am not one to gossip.
Of course you are.
I would not even consider your name and that word in the same sentence.
Because it is not gossip when it's the truth.
Okay, I can work with that. I'm not sure that it's exactly correct, but the Comtesse has made a bold attempt to justify her wagging tongue.
Why else do you think he would stay around for so long? Yes, he was a friend and partner to the Viscount, but it is plain to see it is Cassandra's partnership he longs for.
You have explained that the Major was trying to remain close to the family, but not why.
He was a disgusting leech that was driven only by money and power, like most men.
Interesting. So, some people think that he had no feelings, well, not that warm feelings, apparently, towards Cassandra, maybe? So people think he was more of a leech.
I can assure you not all men are concerned with such egotistical wealth.
That may be, but they are few and far between. I believe you are a special case, Detective Poirot.
Oh my, don't flatter me too much.
It is not the first time I have been described in such a way.
Embrace the compliment, Detective. You have set yourself apart from the horrid crétins that seem to somehow make their way into positions of authority and power.
Okay.
And that is what the Major was doing? Using Madame van den Bosch as his ladder to the top?
You are finally seeing the man he was. A weak and self-indulgent social climber.
The Comtesse has certainly opened my eyes to the Major's true ambitions with the Van den Bosch family. I wonder if Madame herself is aware of his greed and hunger for social recognition. Interesting. So, what if Madame van den Bosch finally found out, and that's actually a motive for kill the Major? If Cassandra had feelings towards the Major, and he finds out that the Major was using her as for greed and social recognition, that could definitely could be a motive for killing him. But let's see.
Merci, Comtesse. If I have any further questions, I shall be sure to come and find you.
And Jack here again.
You came to the right place. What do you need?
What did you know of the victim?
I know that he was not the good and honest man he liked to think he was.
Well, that is starting to seem quite obvious.
In what sense?
If you spoke to him for longer than 5 minutes, you'd know. I've met people in dark alleys I trust before him.
Okay.
And on the occasions when you did speak with him, what was discussed?
I'm sorry, Poirot. If you're looking for a deep-seated secret between me and him, you're going to be disappointed.
I was afraid that you would say something like that. Mademoiselle Conrad is wise to the nature of this question. She knows exactly what and what not to say. This knot may be harder to crack than first expected. As you were previously speaking with him, I assume you know Monsieur Beckers as well then.
That man has got some real anger issues. I get why he's frustrated. He's trying his best for the workers, but holding on to rage like that, something's gonna burst.
Well, Jackie has a point. A man suppressing his anger and murdered body. At the most amateur detective could see a connection, yes. But it's too clean, too smooth. You seem to know a great deal... I don't know. You seem to know a great deal about everyone. What can you tell me about Monsieur da Silva and Madame van den Bosch?
If you think you can use me as some sort of gossip machine, you are sorely mistaken.
Ooh.
I can assure you it is not a case of gossiping. At this point, everything may be relevant to my investigation.
Yeah, this is a murder investigation, not idle chit-chat.
So I would be helping you potentially solve a crime? You should have said that off the bat. To say he's smitten is an understatement. I reckon he's been wanting her for years.
Thank you.
I see. Madame does not feel the same?
Doesn't look like it. If she did, she would have said something about it, right?
Maybe she doesn't even know. Who knows? Maybe she's blind to it. What are your thoughts on the Comtesse? I'd appreciate your opinion on her.
I don't know if you really would. She's got a mouth the size of Texas, except when it comes to truths about her.
Interesting truths about her. So what does she have hidden in her past or whatever?
She wants everyone to think that she's the savior of these girls at the shelter. But there's a side to her I don't think anyone gets to see.
Ooh, a darker side. Please tell me more.
And what side is that?
One that she is keeping tucked away under her very expensive dress.
I can only see the work at the woman's shelter as a positive, even if the reason to start came from a selfish place, not selfish place. The work they do cannot be scoffed at.
You have been most helpful. I request you do not go too far. Merci.
So, let's check it out. What can we do now? I need to talk Margot and Zachariah again. I have some connections to do. So, Major... this was clearly shown in the altercation that occurred in the hall. The Major didn't approve the marriage. Gideon and Zachariah's quarrel, they are very different people. Gideon hesitant mentioned past with the Major. There is still something regarding the Major that he is withholding. Does Gideon have something to hide? It would seem like it, yes. Gideon denies his brother's drinking. It is clear as day. Why is Gideon denying this? Gideon wrote the letter. I have confirmed it was Gideon that penned the letter to the Major warning him off. Okay. And here are the rest. Hugo's frustration. According to Jackie, Hugo was still mad at the Major in our absence. Jackie's claimed Margot's is hiding something. Jackie's opinion of Margot is not that much better than that of a Major's. What is that Margot is hiding? Talk to Margot to advance the investigation. Jackie doesn't trust the Major. Not trusting the Major shows signs of past conflict. There must be more to this. Ernesto and Cassandra's friendship. Jackie seems fairly sure that Ernesto's feelings are one of friendship. Okay. Now. Hugo's frustration. But Hugo claims to be calmed down.
Another success. I never doubted myself.
Hugo claims to have calmed down since his argument with the Major, but Jackie disputed this. Okay. So, Hugo lied about his temper. What else? Gideon and Zachariah. Can I connect these two? Zacharias resent Gideon and Gideon Zacharias quarrel?
Come, my little grey cells.
No. Oh, sorry. Margot confirmed that Ernest has always had a feelings for Cassandra. Do others know Ernesto's love? Quite the statement, Lich on the Cassandra. There is certainly some animosity between Margot and the Major. Issues between Major and Cassandra. She is hinting at issues regarding the Major and Cassandra's relationship. Talk to Jackie. Maybe Cassandra more than a friend with their Ernest and friendship. Let's try this one.
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Okay, it was this then. Perhaps Ernest had hidden his secret love well. We can use this to our advantage. Talk to Ernesto. Talk to Margot. So we are these. Anything with the blackmail. So far we cannot continue this line of things. So I need to talk to Ernesto, Margot, and Zachariah. I'm gonna start here. Zachariah. I'll continue. If I can, I'll try to get.
I'm an open book, Poirot.
I'll try to get this interrogations on this episode if possible. I'm starting to feel quite tired, but if it seems that these will take a little bit more than I'm thinking, then I need to probably end this episode, but not yet. I'm open book, yes. Your relationship with your brother, it seems everyone has an opinion.
That doesn't surprise me, and yet no one actually asks.
That is true.
I am asking now.
I should have expected that, shouldn't I? What is there to say? We used to be close, but not so much anymore.
So what happened?
I would find it very helpful if you could at least elaborate on your relationship.
He went to school, got an education, and was the apple of our father's eye. I went to war. See the difference now.
Monsieur has again mentioned his time in the war. While I do not mean to belittle his efforts for his country, it seems as though he has not been able to leave that life behind on the battlefield. Well, I'm guessing he might be suffering PTSD. And that could be one reason why he's drinking, Poirot. What do you know of your brother's work with the Union?
If you want to know about Gideon's part in the Union, why don't you ask him?
I'm asking you.
So, you are aware of his support for them?
Yes, well, he...
Yes, well, he what?
Oui, monsieur?
It'd be best to just ask him.
Monsieur either does not know much of what his brother does, or he's protect him rather coyly.
I think that is all for now. Merci for your time.
What a strange behavior. We have a connection to do. So we have talked to Gideon. Zacharias defensive of Gideon. Right. We have a connection to do, but what could it be? Because I think, yeah, I already tried to connect that to that. So that doesn't work. Zacharias defensive of Gideon. Anything other new than this? Maybe these are connected then.
Magnifique.
Ah, yes. He claims not be close to his brother, but still seeks to withhold information about him. Well, he might still think, although he has problems with his brother, he might still think it's family after all. And he was saying something about the monies that he was trying to, yeah, our fathers, our brothers' money. So he still might overall try to protect the family, whatever he feels about his brother. He claims, yes, a conflicting attitude. He claims not to be close to his brother, but still seeks to withhold information, yes. Now let's go talk to, well, whoever is next. Did we need to talk Hugo? I don't think we needed to talk Hugo. No, we talk Ernesto, Gideon, and Margot for now. So, Ernesto, my boy, let's talk about your relationship with Cassandra.
More questions? I suppose so.
Yes. Apologies for the insistent questions on the subject, but you and Madame Van den Bosch.
Mademoiselle Conrad was quick to talk of your hidden feelings towards her. Perhaps only hidden to Madame Van den Bosch herself.
What has this got to do with the Major's death? Does Cassandra know you have spoken to others about this? I have only tried to help her.
I am merely asking the question. There is no reason to panic. It would greatly help me if you would answer honestly. I'm not accusing you of anything, but if you continue to avoid the question, I may think there is in fact something you are hiding. I'll go with the nicer option.
There may be some feelings there, but Madame Van den Bosch does not know of them, and I trust that it will remain that way.
I'll try my best.
Merci for your cooperation.
So, how did that work? Yes. Ernesto cares deeply for Cassandra. Perhaps his anger has peaked. How deep does Ernesto's love go? I wonder. Yes. Again, yes, Ernesto could be a possible... All of the guests are possible murderers, but yes, even more motives. Gideon.
No trouble at all. How can I help?
More about your brother.
I believe there are more important matters at hand than talking about my brother and I's relationship, or lack thereof.
The murderer is in his house, and by holding back information that may help my investigation, you only make me suspicious of your involvement. Monsieur Demir, if you continue to withhold information, I can only assume you are hiding something, and must treat you as a prime suspect in the Major's murder.
Ooh. Playing with the hardball, okay.
I have nothing to hide. If you must know, we have not been on the best terms for years now. As I said, we are different people.
Yes.
He does not see the importance of planning for the future. And as much as my parents tried, they could not make him see that. I suppose that is why he sees me as their favorite.
Ready.
He still believes that now?
I assume so. We barely talk anymore. I was hoping we would be able to sit down and talk and leave the past behind. But this evening has not panned out that way.
Okay, at least you were more straightforward this time.
If you would be so kind as to stay here, I may require your help further.
So, what did we learn? Gideon feels detached from Zachariah. Clearly, they haven't been close for some time. Is this feeling mutual? I wonder. Let's go with this then.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
Now we can connect that, okay. The brothers are suspicious individually, but I cannot see them working together. Well, they still can. But we will find out. Now Margot. Nope, that's Jackie. That's Margot.
I am all yours, detective.
Okay, fine. Push on the major's aggressions towards Cassandra.
Countess, you gave me the impression the Major and the Madame were close, but there were times where he acted rather aggressively to her, n'est-ce pas?
I am sorry, detective, but I did not mean to give you such an impression.
Really? Interesting. I have already built rapport with the Comtesse. Some may even say in a flirtatious manner. Perhaps if I continue to charm her, she will reveal the information I require. So I can go flattering or humble. Let's see. Flattering. It is obviously I who am mistaken. A fine woman of your stature would not purposely lead a young man astray. Ooh. Humble. If I have been mistaken, would you be so kind as to correct me in my train of thoughts? I'm guessing I'll go with that flattering, obviously.
Ever the charmer, detective. I would talk more on it, but I'm afraid Cassandra would think I am talking about her behind her back.
The Comtesse has something more to say, but she still holds back. Something tells me it is more to do with receiving attention. Perhaps I can use that to my advantage. Cautionary. How would Madame van den Bosch feel if she heard the contents of our conversation from me? Coercive. You obviously care a great deal about Madame van den Bosch. Assisting me will help clear her of any wrongdoing. That is what you want for her, isn't it? I go with coercive.
It is not often I am swayed so easily. I applaud you on your willingness and persistence.
No, thank you, Margot. Thank you.
From day one, I was wary of his intentions. And it was not long before he showed his true colors.
Really?
If it is a tear she sheds, it should be one of joy that he is out of her life.
I understand your feelings towards the Major, but perhaps there was...
He was a bully. He took his shortcomings out on her, and she sat there and accepted it. I never thought I would see the day.
That is curious. After all, what Cassandra is working on, towards us even, why she was so weak against Felix. Maybe she had true feelings, and if she found out that Felix didn't have those feelings towards Cassandra, that is a motive for killing.
Perhaps now she will be able to see the man he truly was. Karma will always catch up to you.
Okay.
Merci, Countess. If I have any further questions, I shall be sure to come and find you.
I had my own opinion of the Major, one that is wiser kept to myself, but I did not expect so many like-minded thinkers. I should think further on what I have heard in my quarters. To be honest, yeah, Poirot would be also a suspect. So, have I done everything in here now? Talk to Archibald. I guess I have for now. So let's go and talk to Archibald, and I'm guessing we are ending this episode soon.
My time with the guests is complete, for tonight at least.
Do you know who killed Major Hagen?
Not yet.
I am afraid it is not as simple as that. There are many steps that lead to the truth. I must think on everything I have heard this evening and dissect the truths from the lies. Merci for your assistance this evening. Au revoir.
I do hope we sometime, well, I'm guessing it's not the butler. That would be, to be honest, a little disappointing. But yes, we probably should, well, hopefully we can go and interrogate the rest of the people. But anyways, I digress. So let's see what happens next. I came here expecting to solve a case of blackmail, which we hopefully will do, to relieve a family of a burden that has waited... Excuse me. To relieve a family of a burden that has weighed upon them and overshadow a joyous celebration. Well, now there is something really overshadowing their joyous celebration. I have never been to an engagement celebration where death has taken center stage before. Although the guests' alibis confirm each other's, I still cannot rule out the possibility of one of them being involved in the Major's death, one or more. The relationships between some of the guests and the Major were more than rocky. You don't say. Dislike towards him was plentiful, but enough to drive someone to murder? Well, apparently somebody was driven to murder. If that wouldn't happen, if that wouldn't happen, then the Major would still be alive. This is now a perfect opportunity to think about everything I have heard today. A new mind map. I have all the information I need. I must now compile it together and find the most probable culprit. Already? Okay, let's see. Hugo, what do we have here? It's obvious he has some information of the Major. She seems somewhat desperate to chase up information that Hugo holds. I wonder what is so important. There. Jackie's opinion of Margot is not that much better than that of the Major's. What is that Margot is hiding? Margot claims the letter was merely advice for the Major. It sounds more like a threat to me. Yes, that is true. They are a pair. I would not want to go head to head. Yes. With argument with that is for sure. So Margot and Cassandra are longtime friends. They are indeed. Hugo and Jackie support each other's versions of events. Someone else must be responsible, surely. Gideon, Zachary, and Margot were all in the salon at least for some time all together. Surely someone else is to blame. Maybe, maybe not. Ernesto has tried to intimidate the Major in his letter. Ernesto cares deeply for Cassandra. Perhaps his anger has peaked. How deep does Ernesto's love go? I wonder. The Major was working as security for the factories during the strikes. Cassandra has confirmed Ernesto's financial support, but to what extent does this support go? It feels as though he has held on to his resentment for a long time. Apparently, yes. Claims not to close to his brother, but still seeks to withhold information about him. And Zachariah had no interest in speaking with Margot or his brother. And compensating for something with the consumption of alcohol. Okay. What about Gideon? Gideon is trying to start negotiations, trying to improve the workers' standards. Seems like an honest motive for these negotiations. Gideon hesitated to mention past with the Major. There is still something regarding the Major that he is withholding. Does Gideon have something to hide? Of course he has. Gideon wrote the letter. I have confirmed it was Gideon that penned the letter to the Major, warning him off. So maybe these and these are connected?
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Well, they are. His history with the Major combined with the threats to his well-being definitely show intent. They do indeed. Show intent. Hugo has dirt on the Major. Jackie wants... Oh! From Hugo. So I'm guessing these are connected?
What a revelation!
When I first overheard their conversation, it seemed Hugo was trying to get Jackie to listen. Well, it definitely seemed like it. And he said he has something very, very huge information. Jackie claims Margot is hiding something. What is this? Margot claims the letter was merely advice for the Major. It sounds more... Ah. So maybe Jackie knows something more sinister and the letter was more like a threat. So there is a sharper side of Margot, I'm guessing. So are these connected? I do hope they are connected.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
Okay, nice. The letter she sent protecting Cassandra was threatening indeed, and Jackie seems unable to determine her secret. Interesting. Now, I have two connections to do. Do I connect these? Basically that both groups have alibis, maybe? I don't know. Let's try.
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
All the guests have at least one other guest to confirm their alibis. That's convenient. If we can trust everybody's versions, what happened? I'm guessing we can connect threat to Major and Ernest to Cassandra because yes.
Another success. I never doubted myself.
Okay, good. Blinded by both love and greed, he may have struck down his opposition. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Okay. What is that? Who could that be at this time?
Entrez.
Detective, I'm sorry I did not join you in the salon as requested.
Please, mademoiselle. There is no need to apologize.
I was with Maman in her room. She would not allow anyone to see it, but I could see she was terribly upset.
Most understandable.
Do you have any suspicions as to who could have killed him?
Not at the moment.
I'm afraid my suspicions extended across all of the party's guests. While it seems as though their alibis all corroborate one another's, the disdain and hostility towards the Major makes them rife with motive.
I know there was some bad blood between the Major and some of the guests, but not enough to kill him, surely. She may seem tough on the exterior, but she's really quite kind when you get to know her.
Interesting.
The Countess? She is a formidable force I would not want to come up against.
Don't be silly, Detective. She wouldn't hurt a soul. Jacqueline, I mean.
Mademoiselle Conrad, she was in fact least suspicious until now.
I assume that's who you were talking about, Detective, after what happened between them.
Wait, what?
That is a story I have yet to hear.
She must have told you about the piece she was writing on us, about Gideon's work and our marriage.
Somehow that was the only thing she did not mention.
That is true.
That's strange. I thought that is what she would have started the conversation with. Well, she had come to the house to interview me, and when I entered the library, she was there with Felix amid a rather heated conversation.
Even more interesting.
Do you know what this conversation regarded?
I'm afraid not, but Felix was quite enraged. He picked up an envelope from the table and stormed out, slamming the door behind him.
Envelope.
And Mademoiselle Conrad?
She was equally heated in the moment. She had a few choice words for him that I wouldn't care to repeat.
How is Madame feeling now?
Better, thank you, Detective. She's resting in her room. It is the best place for her.
Okay.
And you, Mademoiselle?
I'm not quite sure. It is a rather surreal feeling. I did not think I would miss him like I do.
It is understandable. He has been a close friend to your maman for many years.
There's a point in that, yes.
And to me, Detective, we had grown close. After Father's passing, he was always there for me. And now, he's gone as well.
You must try and not think on it like that.
It is easier said than done, Detective.
I have no doubt, but you can be assured the culprit will not remain at large for long. You have my word.
If you were in my position, Mademoiselle, who would be at the top of your suspect list?
I'm sorry, but I just can't imagine any of them committing such a heinous crime.
It can often be hard to look past one's personal feelings for someone and see their flaws.
It's not that, Detective. It's just they have known each other for years. Why would any of them act now?
Well, basically, if you take years of dirt from someone, maybe something finally snapped.
I was under the impression the Major had merely a business relationship with some of the guests.
That's true, but those invited know each other, some of them for years. They may not seem like it, but some are even friends.
Well, that is interesting again.
I should return to my room now, Detective. It has been a trying day for us all.
That is also true.
Oui, mademoiselle. I am afraid tomorrow may bear a resemblance, but I will not stop until I have found his killer.
I am certainly glad you are here, Detective.
Well, hopefully I can be of service.
When and where a detective is required, that is where I shall be. Bonne nuit, mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle has left me with an interesting thought, one I had not considered until now. And what is that? While at first glance the guests do not appear to show much fondness for each other, Mademoiselle is quite sure that is not the case. Perhaps I must consider looking at the guests together and not individually. Now there is a point again. Let's see. Oh, I have something new. Oh, something new indeed. What do we have here? Jackie bumped heads with the Major. A confrontation occurred between Jackie and the Major. Is her hatred for the Major seated deeply, I wonder? Angela van den Bosch. Angelina is sure they are closer. Angelina is sure they are closer than they initially appear. So Jackie pushing for dirt on the Major and Jackie bumped heads with the Major.
Magnifique.
I doubted Jackie's involvement with the murder, but now I'm dubious of her innocence.
What a revelation.
Well, I now have all the motives from the guests who is under suspicion. Come on. I doubt it. Yeah, I'm now dubious. Oh, All motives confirmed. I now have all the motives from the guest who is under suspicion. All alibis confirmed and all motives confirmed. Do I connect these two?
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Okay. I do not know who I can trust or whose stories I can believe. Are the guests innocent? You are so fixed on guests. Guests are not innocent. Well, guests have motives. Guests can be killers, but so can be even Angeline and other people. Anyways, I digress. Oh God, guests are suspicious. Guests have known each other for years. They might be even covering their family. So do I connect these two then? Because I have one connection to do.
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
I now doubt how trustworthy their stories may be. They may well be covering for each other. Yes, and also the Van den Bosch family. There is no physical way one of the guests could have killed the major and returned to the party, unless that is where I'm mistaken. It is not one guilty party I should be looking for, rather multiple. Womp womp womp. You reach conclusion based on what you have learned so far. So am I done now? How could I have not considered that the major's death was part of a ploy created and executed by more than only one of the guests? I don't know, but why is it still so fixated with the guests? It could be the family also. It came almost as an epiphany following Mademoiselle Angeline's remark about the guest's shared past. Perhaps Mademoiselle will become the trusted ally that I now sense may be essential to catching the guilty parties. Tonight's questioning was only the beginning. I will allow my suspects to sleep on their stories and we will see how they fare tomorrow. Perhaps one of those involved will have morals enough to show a glimmer of regret. Considering they may be working together, I cannot be sure who has told the truth and who has attempted to sell me down the flue. No idea how to pronounce that. Flue. Anyway, perhaps I should sleep on the matter. A good night's sleep will surely bring new dawn of thinking, and what the better setting to do so in that than the peaceful falling blanket of snow that surrounds us all. I agree. And I need to sleep too. Although it seems not everyone has the same idea. Somebody's moving. Yes, there. It's hard to see. Chapter 5. The Secret. A restless sleep combined with the image of the eerie figure in the snow has only convoluted what my little Grazels must consider. I should not have expected this to be a simple case. I have been lied to by at least one of the guests. Their alibis all confirm each other's, but I know this is not to be true. A new mind map unlocked. How the major was involved with the blackmail eludes me for now. Once I have confirmed whether he was the author or recipient, I can consider my next step in my investigation. Okay, so let's check this quickly. First blackmail letter, Gideon paid it off. With nobody in the house able to pay the ransom, Gideon did the honorable thing as a fiancé to Angeline. Major's blackmail letter. We must find whether he was the sender or the recipient. Yes. The writer was demanding 5,000 francs. Whether he received it or was yet to send it is still unknown. And what do we have in here? Angela van der Bosch. Unsure blackmail reason. Angela cares about the major. Yes. And do we have here something... yes, cares about the major. Cassandra van den Bosch. Absent, Archibald stated she's screaming in her room. It would not be proper to intrude, at least not for the moment. Longing to confront a man who has recently ended up dead, this cannot be ignored. No, it cannot be. So Hugo wanted to confront the Major. Jackie Conrad. Jackie was writing an article about the couple, which she didn't see the need to mention to us. Zachariah Demir. The war. We need to know about the war. More about the war, I mean. Yes, I definitely need sleep. I cannot think straight. So, a little bit longer episode than a few earlier ones, but at least we managed to deal with the interrogations. Now we continue, obviously, searching clues, interrogating people, and hopefully find out who was sneaking around outside last night. Again, I had no idea how many chapters there are. I'm guessing this is not the last one, so yeah, we have ways to go. But yeah, I need to go to sleep as soon as possible. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time. Until then, goodbye.